Hello, hi, my name is Morgana, and welcome to Medieval-ifying The Sims 4. Today, this time around, we have the Caliente family, and boy oh boy, were they really fun to give a makeover to. I actually completely forgot that they were one of the families that got a refresh, and so when I opened up their household to give a makeover, I was like, they look different from what I remember, but honestly, I haven't paid attention to the Townies in years, so it was a nice little surprise. Honestly, I like the way they look now after the refresh than I did before, so I don't know, did y'all like the refresh or did you not like it? I like the refresh of the Goths and the Calientes. I don't know if any other family has been refreshed, but I like the way that the Sims team made their refreshed versions, to be honest. I think Nina is my favorite out of the refreshed Sims so far. But anyways, this isn't about that. This is their medieval counterparts and their lives and dramas that we get into. Of course, we know the Caliente family has the whole, there's Katrina, Nina, and Dina. They all live together. Katrina invites in Don, who is like the local heartthrob and kind of gets into romantic flings and builds drama with the three ladies in the household. And their medieval counterparts aren't much different. So, Katrina was actually the former mistress of a wealthy man, not necessarily a lord, but someone who was wealthy enough off, right? And obviously, as the official mistress, the official wife didn't really like her. The man was a little older than her, and he died tragically, or I don't know, probably the plague or something. And when he died, his wife was just like, well, now I can kick out the mistress. So she kicked out the mistress with her children, but of course, it was already too late. Katrina had already secured quite a bit of money and was perfectly fine raising her girls. So years and years have gone by. Her girls are now young adults, so they're marriageable age. Well, technically the age of marriage is teenagers, but she kind of let them do whatever they wanted. But now the money is running a bit low, and so she has been spending a good bit of her time looking for potential suitors for her girls to preferably marry. But honestly, she doesn't mind if they themselves become a mistress as long as they find some rich man to have a child with and kind of secure their wealth and their monetary status, right? She doesn't care how they do it as long as it gets done. And her daughters have kind of taken this to heart. So Nina and Dina, let's see. Well, let me go back first, I guess. Katrina, of course, is later on in her years, and obviously her girls get to go out and have their fun and their freedoms. And just because she's an older woman who has had children, never married, blah, 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 official mistress, that doesn't mean that she doesn't feel entitled to her own little fun. So she came across a man who claimed to be a wandering knight named Don Lothario. And we'll get to Don in just a moment. So Dina, I'm not sure if Dina or Nina is older, but I don't know. I'm assuming Dina's older, unless they're twins. I honestly have no clue. But Dina is actually going the wants to marry a wealthy man route. So she's definitely going about the village, looking at people who come in and out and trying to secure herself a wealthy man. She likes a materialistic status. The Caliente family might not be nobility or have any sort of title or anything like that. But I do think that they would kind of be the fashion icons of their village. So like they keep up with new trends and things like that. And I think people want to please them, even though they don't necessarily, they don't really have any power. But I think that people do want to like please and intrigue them one way or another, just because they look like they are so put together. They're kind of like not the mean girls of the village, but I imagine them as kind of being like Kardashians of the village, you know what I mean? So they're kind of like the trendsetters, the fashion icons of the village, and they can only really keep up with that if they have money, which is why getting this wealth and everything is so important. So Dina, she loves her materialistic stuff. She likes her wines, her pheasants, her roasted meats and fresh fruits, and her silks and her cloths and her dresses. So of course she's going to need a wealthy man. But I think she learned from the mistakes her mother made that being a mistress, while it was, it secured them in some ways, being a wife would be even more of a security. So I think that she is actually searching for a husband specifically because she's like, okay, well, if something were to happen and like I got married to my husband and he died, at the very least his wealth would go to me, especially if I, have a husband and we have a son. So she's so ambitious and she's being romantic. So she's known for being pretty flirty around some of the rich single men, just trying to vie out her options, get in their good graces. And, hopefully she'll receive a letter of proposal from one of these nice young men she's been eyeing for a while, but who knows? As for Nina, she's kind of taken the opposite route of both her and her mother. She doesn't necessarily care about, marriage or getting a wealthy man or anything like that. She cares about having fun. So Dina, while she's known to be a bit flirtatious around the village, she's still known to be rather chaste, rather pious, if anything, Like she'll flirt and everything, but no one is going to touch her. She will not be seen in any inappropriate situations with anyone else beyond a flirt unless that man has enough money to put a gold ring on her finger. Nina doesn't care about such things. Of course, she doesn't mind the lifestyle she grew up in and has right now, but honestly, she's so focused on just having fun. So unlike her sister, she is pretty known for being a comfort to some of the men in the village. Of course, not just anyone. It's gotta be best of the best, blah, blah, blah. But because she likes to break up marriages and romances, she usually ends up going for married men, which is extremely chaotic and disrespectful. But, a wife hates to see Nina Caliente coming down the village square. She doesn't do it for money or anything like that. She legitimately just likes to sow chaos. So I could see her aiming to be a mistress, not because she's passionate about it or anything, and not even for the money. Just a way to ease her boredom, I think, Everything seems to come too easy. They're rich. She knows she could get any man she wants because she's beautiful, just like her mother and her sister. But the idea of knowing that she has that type of power over someone's life, like a whole family could come crumbling down solely because of her. She could ruin relationships and bonds and everything. And I think that she kind of likes the power in a really, really weird way. So she, she's been known to potentially, according to the rumors, be seen with some powerful men, or, accompanying them to social gatherings, if nothing else. So that is what's happened. As for Dawn, the reason I said Dawn was a traveling knight is because technically it's true and untrue. He's definitely fought before. He knows how to wield a sword and a bow and arrow, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a knight considering he has no title and no money to go along with it. What he actually is a mercenary, or at least a former mercenary. He joined a mercenaries guild. They raised him as one of their own, just like all the other men in the guild. He's got the tattoo and everything to show for it that he usually hides for the most part. And I guess later down the line, after one too many battles, one too run-ins with the law, they get caught by the, constable? It's not a police, the knights, the guards, whatever. And, the kings and the lords, whoever catches them could have them hanged because they've committed quite a few crimes over the years and they still continue to. John just kind of left. I think he realized that route was a bit more dangerous, and while he does enjoy the riches and everything and the freedoms that come with him not being tied down to any particular job or any particular woman or family, he didn't necessarily want to risk his life, continue risking his life and doing so through violent actions. So he ran off, but he's still part of that family. And so, the potential of someone tracking him down, bringing him back, or even killing him, because technically he abandoned them, even though he didn't turn them in or anything like that. He technically ran away and abandoned the very people who were there for him, his very family, quote unquote. So he's doing that, but for now, he's run away to Oasis Springs and saw this family of just women. He stoked them out, got some word around town, had a couple flings here and there, and got word that this was a family of women, all single, to marriageable age. They're known to be quite friendly with the locals, especially some of the local handsome young men. And there was no man in the house. There was no husband. There were no brothers. There was nobody, just these women, right? So he came up with this grand plan to seduce one of the ladies, get invited to the house under the guise of being hired protection. You know, beautiful young ladies like this living on their own, you know, with the money they do have and the lifestyle they lead. It's rather dangerous. They don't have a man in the house to kind of protect them. So, you know, why not use some of those riches to hire a knight and a guide, a guard, whatever, right? So he approached Katrina with that. And, you know, besides the business side of it, they also had, you know, a few not so business-like interactions. And she was like, well, my daughters are having their fun. Why can't I? And soon enough, Dawn was invited into the household. And of course, he saw her beautiful daughters who were closer in age, but honestly, Katrina looked good for her age anyway, so he just kind of had his fun with all three of them, sneaking around, having their flings, right? Of course, Katrina doesn't know that he's gone after her daughters. The daughters know, but they're just keeping it secret, right? I don't think Katrina's in love. I think she's just having fun. Dina is just releasing a little bit of steam while she waits for a husband. Once again, still not doing anything crazy with Dawn, but like a kiss here and there in the darkness, you know? As for Nina, she does go the furthest just because she likes to sow some chaos. You know, she knows her mother doesn't love this man. None of them love this man. They don't know that he's lying about his past, kind of, sort, or anything like that, or trying to use them, but Nina's using him too in her own little way. So that being said, Dawn and Nina spent quite a bit of time together, and unbeknownst to them at the moment, Nina is actually pregnant. So what a doozy. That'd be a crazy thing to explain later down the line, but for now, that's where their story ends, or starts if you download them from the gallery. These guys are actually already on the gallery. They're available at any time you want to play as them. Yes, Nina is pregnant, so you open the gallery, it won't show because she doesn't know that she's pregnant quite yet, but she is pregnant with a little girl. So keep that in mind. But I love the drama that these guys got into. I loved giving them a makeover. This was honestly one of my favorite. I liked the goths a lot. The Landgraabs annoyed me. The Chopras were interesting, but I really liked giving the Calientes and Don Lothario makeover and getting their storyline put together. So I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, these guys can be found in the gallery, in the hashtag. That'll be down in the description. Make sure you turn on enable custom content in game to see them, even if you don't own the custom content or anything like that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.